Hi everyone, my presentation is about internationalizing the business curriculum as a South Korean case study. In our executive summary, the study that I have researched is that it reflects on the approach that smaller universities and colleges can take to meet acceleration standards. Getting accelerated will help them internationalize their standards and incorporate learning into their curriculum. The case study highlights the importance of including active learning component along with the international dimensions in a business curriculum in South Korea. There are also some fundraising sources that can they can enable students to travel to foreign countries more often. An abroad study trip encompasses a vast area of factors. Availability of funds is primary area of concern for business schools so as to send students to other countries such as South Korea. Because money has always been the issue with education, not all the students are able to finance those business schools. Logistics factor comprises of resources acquired for the entire trip, site selection for a study program, requirements of visa and passport students, transportation and scheduling, institutional requirements, health risks, vaccination, and etc. So international education program requires the greater availability of funds. And here, as you can see, the 10 elements of internationalization: student, faculty, research, parent, partners, acceleration, strategy, governance, graduates, and language, and circulating. So this is the 10 elements of the internationalization circular. Logistics. This factor restricts many schools or universities from actively indulging into international study trip. Funding is mainly in terms of development grants from internal faculty. Also, funding opportunities can also be explored through offering a partnership with business community and other academic areas. International curriculum development is enhanced through United States Department of Education. So comprehensive internationalization, as you can see on the chart, on the diagram, on the picture, we can let's put it that way. So the Higher Education Act has extended support towards 10 study programs. This support is for institutions, institutions and individuals who are part of higher education framework. And this program helps in upgrading undergraduate educational framework, and it is in the contents of foreign languages and international studies. So, passport and visa requirement. There are multiple funding sources that can be accessed by the institutions so as to promote abroad study program and send students to different countries to gain further knowledge and skills and experience. Transport and visa requirements also play a critical role in such global research initiatives. Also, there need to be students who are not traveled across boundaries of their home country. So passport information forms are readily available online, and students need to apply for passport 8 weeks in advance of their travel date. So health issues is one of the main issues that we face these days, and it needs to be taken care of very seriously. So as in here, vaccines and health risks. For South Korea, vaccines are not an essential component, whereas in South Africa, you need to have malaria and diphtheria and etc. So required vaccines for particular region can be accessed from the Center for Disease Control. The necessary vaccinations of typhoid fever, hepatitis A and B, malaria as we mentioned earlier, yellow fever and diphtheria. If educational institution composes a layout of international travel requirements, of course there are some institutional requirements as well. US government has free services to all citizens in the context of travel registration for students going abroad from going to their country. Also, online registration in the present scenario has made tasks simpler for educational institutions and pupils. Cell phones have strengthened the connectivity between individuals. So, Korea's business etiquette. Korean etiquette includes a vast area of factors. Greeting or introduction is through addressing one another by the last name or title, or representative job position in Korea. Giving gifts are highly appreciable in Korean culture. Gifts being given should not be cheap or too expensive. Here is some post-trip activities. Post-trip activities are associated with the application of models of accurate information, and Hofstede's framework highlights various cultural dimensions of South Korea. The country has a low individualism score, indicating a collectivist nature. And here's my conclusion. So I am going to conclude by saying that this study demonstrates various requirements for designing international business curriculum. And the business curriculum is not only confined to theoretical frameworks or course book structure, but it also needs to include problem-solving skills, as well as international of business curriculum is associated with gaining knowledge about the host country. And I believe that in this study an entire framework is provided that can be used by universities or colleges to address acceleration standards, and active learning should be incorporated so as to facilitate the international business curriculum. And lastly, South Korea as an example had been used in the study to outline major differences, but similar factors can also be applied to other geographical regions. Thank you very much for listening.